Hello, doctors and students. Welcome back to the UCM podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Bill Davis, and I'm very excited to present this information to you today. We're going to be talking about something that is brand new and that is very exciting and has really never been available to, really most small businesses, but definitely not upper cervical practices. So this is a really exciting thing that has happened really as a result of AI technology really growing. We have a lot more technological tools available to you now, and I'm going to talk about one today. Really, it has two parts to it that is really amazing when it comes to being able to connect with people in your community who you really didn't even know were there before. And so today's episode is called From Clicks to Searches: How Invisible Lead ID Finds the Patients You're Missing. And so let's talk about this. Let's talk about what I'm referring to. But first, you know, I always like to start this because this may be the first time you're ever watching or listening to our podcast. And so I just want to give you a little bit of information about us and why UC docs trust us with their growth. Myself, Dr. Bill Davis, and Tony Hook, and our whole UCM team have helped over 300 upper cervical doctors grow in the past 12 plus years. We've generated over 125,000 new patients across these hundreds of clinics. We've doubled dozens of practices from solo doc to multi-million-dollar practices, helping them to scale. We've guided doctors through all 7 of the growth stages, from startup all the way to legacy. We've helped them add associates and locations and key team roles, improve efficiency, effectiveness with systems, and really, helping to deliver real-time insights from working with so many different offices, be able to continually develop best practices that work within upper cervical. And so that's why so many upper cervical doctors trust us with their growth, both for our content and to be clients of ours. And so what I'm going to talk about today is something that you may not even know is available, that this is not even something that is on your radar. But the thing to understand is there's a huge missed opportunity right now when it comes to the internet, and specifically your upper cervical practice. According to statistics, 97% of website visitors that visit your website leave without taking any action. Okay, so only 3% of the people who visit your website, now this may be a little bit higher, a little bit lower, depending on your website specifically, but the average is 3%. Only 3 out of every 100 people who visit your website is going to call the practice or fill out a form to request a consultation. Only 3 out of 100. So 97 out of the 100 are going to your website and then leaving. Now, the problem is, up until now, until what I'm going to tell you about today, we had no way to know who those people were. We had no way to capture their information. We had no way to identify them. We had no way to follow up with them. But now we do have a way. I'm going to talk with you about today. Now, there's another part of this that is even more of a profound change that has happened, and that's to be able to connect with people who are searching, who never click your website, but you can still capture their information. This is also technology that is now available to upper cervical practices. This type of technology, this website site ID and the search ID we're going to talk about, was only available to Fortune 500 companies, to big companies. And you've seen this. If you've ever searched for something and then immediately received something in the mail about that particular topic, that's what was happening, right? That's how this happened. Or if you've visited a website of a particular business and then immediately saw an ad for theirs on Facebook or Instagram, they were using this technology as well. But the key is, when it comes to both your website and people that are searching for keywords in your local community, is, are you capturing their info? Are you following up with them? Or are you even aware that they exist? And so we're going to talk about all of that today. So this invisible problem, this problem is really understanding that you may be familiar with Google Analytics, right? This is basic way of understanding how many people are visiting your website, or you may not. But either way, you may know how many visitors you had, but you don't know who they are, right? You may know your site is getting traffic, but you don't know what to do with it. And so that's what we start to identify today when we're talking about Invisible Lead ID. So Invisible Lead ID is a part of our full Atlas engine, which is released this month. And the Invisible Lead ID has two parts to it, right? The Site ID and Search ID. So we'll talk about all that. So with Invisible Lead ID, you can identify who's visiting your website, even if they never fill out a form or call your office. You can also discover who's searching for conditions you help every day, even if they don't click on your website. And then you can follow up automatically with targeted outreach. This is huge, Doc. This is an insane technological breakthrough that is really just changing the way you can connect with people in your community. And so let's talk more about this. So the first part of this is the website visitor ID, this site ID. As I said, 97 out of 100 people who visit your website aren't going to fill out a form or call your practice. And so what this does is it reveals the anonymous site visitors using tools that were only previously available to big companies. And then using our Atlas engine, we're able to trigger smart outreach and retarget these people automatically, right? So someone comes to your website and we can immediately retarget them on social media, on Facebook or Instagram with a specific personalized retargeting ad. But we can also, because we're capturing not just name and email, but we're also capturing physical address, we can also send them a postcard immediately as well, directly to their house, right? So we have that opportunity now to capture these 97 out of 100 people that visit your website and immediately follow up with them both digitally and offline with postcards. And that is creating a much higher percentage of conversion than we've ever seen before, because you're getting another chance, right? And maybe you're getting multiple chances. If that one person goes to your website, they didn't fill out a form, they didn't call the practice that time, but then they're on Facebook and they see something from you, and then they get a postcard in the mail also, the chances they're going to convert just went way, way up. And so that's the first part of this. This is that website visitor ID, that site ID that is so, so powerful. But the second part of Invisible Lead ID is the high intent search ID. And this one to me is even more exciting because it gives you the ability to connect with people who never even visited your website. So there's people who are out there every day that are searching for high intent searches, which a high intent search means it's a search that is likely to lead to a person taking action when it comes to their health, right? So a high intent search would be something like migraine specialist in Dallas, or relief for vertigo in San Diego, right? Or upper cervical chiropractor near me, right? These are high intent searches. These are people who are looking for help. They want some relief. They want somebody to look into what's going on with them. Now we are able to connect and find out who those people are every day. And we're able to geo-target it, so it's only people within your area. And we're able to match those searchers and pull out their contact info using proprietary data tools that were previously only available to large companies. And once we do that, once we capture this information, we're able to trigger smart outreach and retargeting automatically. So the same types that we talked about before, both retargeting ads and postcards that go directly to these people, right? So now we all have this whole new group of people that we can consistently communicate with that are high intent people. They're high intent searchers. They're looking for help and they didn't even visit your website, but we're still able to connect with them and we're able to convert them into new patients. And so this is the way you got to think about this. When it comes to marketing of any type, but especially digital marketing, it's all about the level of intent that a person has, right? And intent means their intention. What are they looking to do? What are they trying to do? Someone that has a low amount of intent would be just cold traffic, right? Someone that is not even interested in what you're doing. They don't have even maybe a condition that they would even think that you could help them with, and they're not even looking for help, right? That's a cold traffic person. And then there's warm traffic and hot traffic, right? So warm traffic would be anyone who is in your world, or in your community, I should say, who has a condition that you can help them with, but they're not actively looking for help, right? This is more of like interruption-based marketing, which we do a lot of, with Facebook ads and Instagram ads and those types of things. You're putting an ad in front of someone who could possibly react to it, right? And see that and be like, oh, I need that. I need help with my vertigo, migraines, whatever it is, right? That's a warm traffic. But hot traffic is someone who is actively looking for help. This is someone who is, like I said, searching, right? They're searching the internet. They're Googling a particular keyword that is specific to a condition that you help people with every day, and they're in your local community. That's someone that's going to be a much higher intent. So if you're watching this, you'll see that I have a picture of a fisherman fishing in different pools. And the much higher intent pool is that search traffic pool, right? Those people that have actively searched for these particular keywords recently, and we're communicating with them right after the fact, right? Both digitally through retargeting ads and physically through a postcard that is designed to convert into a consultation. And so that's why this is so powerful, is because instead of working with cold traffic or even warm traffic, we're working with hot traffic, and hot traffic is much more likely to immediately convert and turn into a new patient. And so this is really, really an exciting part of our new Atlas engine. And that's why I wanted to do a specific podcast on this, so you have an idea of how powerful this is. And so why it matters: you get higher intent leads, which leads to more new patients. If you're already getting the attention, meaning that you're already getting traffic to your website, it works even better, right? And as part of our Atlas engine, we get you more traffic to your website through our search engine optimization, through our ad strategies, through our directory listings on uppercervicalcare.com, uppercervicalawareness.com, and so forth. And now it's really time to capture and convert traffic more effectively, both through site ID and search ID. And it is a powerful, powerful technology. And the cool thing about this is it's built for upper cervical practices. We understand what types of keywords people search for, that if they have a high intent, right? What sort of things are they looking for? What sort of things do they type into Google in order to be able to connect with the right types of people who are going to be a higher likelihood of coming into your practice? And the other cool thing about this is it works in the background. There's no extra staff needed or anything like that. It just gives you higher intent leads consistently. And it's part of the full Atlas engine practice growth system, which is just amazing. I'm so excited about the full system and how it all works together. But this is one really key part that I just wanted to highlight today in this podcast. And so, thank you for listening. Thank you for learning more about this. I'd love for you to book a demo. I think that would be a really awesome thing for you to do, is just learn more about the invisible lead ID, but really the full Atlas engine and how it all works to help you grow your practice. And so if you go over to ucmgrow.com, that's ucmgrow.com, and you can just click on Start Growing and schedule a initial demo call. We'll go over your practice, where you are and where you'd like to go, and see if the Atlas Engine is how you can get there this year. So thank you so much for listening. And as we always say around here, go Team Upper Cervical.